Hey everybody, welcome to the 4th episode of my tour of the Biopark Zoo. So today, we're going to be starting with our first animal. Our first animal is the Komodo Dragon. Let's check him out. So over here we have our Komodo Dragon, who right now is basking in the sun over here. He is the largest and heaviest lizard on the planet, and they have venomous bites, and their group behavior when it comes to hunting is very exceptional in the reptile world. And they have tails as long as their bodies, and long, yellow, deeply forked tongues, which are actually used to sniff the quote-unquote sniff fruity air in search of prey. And their skin is usually gray in color, reinforced by armor scales, containing tiny bones called osteoderms that function as a sort of natural chainmail. This rugged hide makes their skin a poor source of leather. Additionally, they become more extensive and variable as they grow older, in shape that is, ossifying more extensively as they grow. The osteoderms are absent in hatchlings and juveniles, indicating that the natural armor develops as a product of age and competition between adults for protection in combats over food and mates. Now, hence their name, these guys are found in the Indonesian islands of Komodo, hence their name, Rinca, Flores, and Gili-Motan. They prefer hot and dry places and typically live in dry, open grassland, savanna, and tropical forests at low elevations. All around here. I think it's time to feed him, don't you think? Time to feed these guys. So these guys are technically carnivores. Although they have been considered as eating mostly carrion, though frequently ambush live prey. Their diets ranging includes invertebrates, other reptiles, including smaller young, birds, bird eggs, small mammals, monkeys, wild boar, goat, deer, horses, and even water buffalo. Let's see, now where is he? Oh, he's already here basking again, just like last time. Anyways, the young will eat insects, eggs, geckos, and small mammals, while the adults prefer to hunt large mammals. Occasionally they attack and bite humans. No worries, they do occasionally though. Let's see their animation and tell some fun facts about the Komodo Dragon. Komodo dragons are also known as the Komodo Monitor or the Komodo Island Monitor in the scientific literature. To the natives of Komodo Island, they're referred to as Ora, Biodarut, and Biaraskada. They can see objects as far as 300 miles and can distinguish colors. They use their tongue to detect, taste, and smell stimuli with the vomeronasal sense, using the Jacobson's organ rather than using their nostrils. With the help of a favorable wind and their habit of swinging their head from side to side as they walk, they can detect carrion from 4 to 9.5 kilometers away. Some of the scales in their skin are reinforced with bone and have sensory plaques connected to nerves to facilitate their sense of touch. The scales around the ears, lip, chin, and soles of the feet may have 3 or more sensory plaques, and they prefer to avoid encounters with humans. The juveniles are very shy and will flee quickly to hide out if the human comes near close to 100 meters. Alright, that's it. Our next animal on the tour is the cheetle, also known as the axis deer. Let's see where they are. Oh, there's some right here. Let's go take a closer look. So cheetle, or axle deer, are beautiful mammals with spotted bodies and short tails. Both the males and females have markings in their bodies, which are white running in rows along the length of their bodies. They're bright golden brown in color, while the heads are a bit lighter shade of the same color. Most of their population is concentrated in the forests of India. The major area of their distribution is Sri Lanka and India. although they were introduced to the US and Australia as well. They tend to live in shady areas with heavy and dense forests. They also prefer open grasslands and evergreen forests. Let's go feed them. So these guys are herbivores. Their diet usually consists of grasses, flowers, and fruit fallen from the trees. When the monsoon season comes, grasses and sedges and sawforest become the main source of food for them. They also prefer mushrooms, which are rich in proteins and nutrients. In addition, they can browse when needed. There's some right here. Alright, let's tell some fun facts about the chital deer, or axis deer. Cheetahs often graze near trees where langurs live. One of the reasons they do it is that sometimes they drop fruit that the axis deer feed on. Another reason is that due to their higher position, langurs can warn them of approaching predators, like tigers. Right. Oh, hey, there's one over there. And their teeth are perfectly designed for grazing, and they also like to eat their shed antlers that contain nutrients. When grazing together, they're usually silent. The males try to reach tall branches of trees, standing on their hind legs. When alarmed or encountering predators, the females and young usually bark, and their fawns often squeal, looking for their mothers. Doesn't that sound cute? Well, that's enough out of the axis deer movie. Let's move on to our next animal. So the next animal we have in the tour is the Asian black bear, also known as the Asiatic black bear. So, Asiatic black bears are bears of medium to large size, large rounded heads and small eyes. They have large ears, which are farther apart than those in American black bears. Their bodies are heavy, and their legs are strong and thick with broad paws. Right here. I think he's sniffing, looking for some food. Which I bet they're hungry. Let's go. I think we should feed them later. But anyways. And they sometimes walk on the soles of their feet, just like we do. They have short tails that hardly ever is seen on their long coarse fur. And the fur is black with a V shape of light beige to widen their chest. And these guys inhabit small areas from southeastern Iran through to Afghanistan and Pakistan, and across the Himalayan foothills in India and Myanmar. They're also present in all mainland Southeast Asia, except Malaysia and scattered throughout the northeastern and southern part of China. There are also clusters living in North and South Korea, the southern Russian Far East, and the Japanese islands Shikoku and Honshu, and on the Hainan and Taiwan. They are found on steep mountains, moist forests, and in areas of thick vegetation. In summer, they live at high elevations, they descend during the winter. It's time to feed these guys, isn't it? Alright. So these guys are omnivorous animals, and they mainly eat fruit, berries, seeds, nuts, honey, grasses, invertebrates, fish, birds, rodents, other small mammals, as well as carrion. Alright, let's see the animation. These guys are named by other number names, including Asian black bear, Himalayan black bear, and Tibetan blue bear. Their sign of name originates from. The wise V-shaped marking on their chest also led them being known as the moon bear, which is pretty much because they have. If you watch closely over here, this is why they're called the moon bear, because their V-shaped chest often reminds us of a crescent moon. Alright. That's enough of the Asiatic black bears. On to the northern hawk owl. Let's see where this northern owl is. There he is. He's right here. So the males of the species are generally 36 to 32.5 centimeters long and weigh 300 grams. The females are slightly bigger, with a length of 37.2 to 44.7 centimeters and a mass of about 340 grams. Which both the males and females have similar wingspans, about 46 centimeters, or 18 inches. Oh yeah. Okay. These guys live in open conifer forest, birch shrub, tamarack bogs, massive on a northern forest, a spruce and other conifer mixed with aspen or birch north of the tree line. Oh my god, that was beautiful there. I missed it. Alright. Now let's feed them though. Alright. So the northern hawk owl mostly eats rodents, especially in the summer. They eat mostly voles, mice, also small squirrels, weasels, shrews, also eat small birds, especially in the winter, and they may take insects, frogs, and small fish at times. At the zoo, that's exactly what we feed them at the zoo. We feed them nice insects. Oh yeah, and then I forget where they live. They occupy a circumpolar range in between Alaska, northern Canada, Scandinavia, and across northern Russia. And they live and breed in the northern boreal forest of Alaska, Canada, and Newfoundland. Oh yeah, let's see their animation. Unlike most of our owls, they don't fly on silent wings. Their feathers are stiffer than nocturnal owls. When they fly, their wings do make some noise though. They're able to catch prey using only their hearing. Science has documented picking up on noises made by prey moving as much as 12 inches beneath the snow. They then swoop down the invisible prey and grab with their sharp talons. Oh, here he is up there. Despite their excellent hearing, they don't have asymmetrical ear openings like most of our owls do. Well, Alright, time to see some new animals. The next animal we have here is the Blackback Jackal. Alright. Well, there he is. He's right over here. So here we have our Blackback Jackal here. And these guys are canid species with long and thin bodies. Like that. And the females are a bit smaller and lighter in weight than the males. And their heads are dog-like with pointed ears and muzzles. On the back, they have large, dark saddles stretching from the nape of their back to the base of their tails. And they have bushy tails that are black in color, hence their name. There he is, resting again. And they can be found in diverse habitats, living in coastal areas, deserts, and mountains. They prefer dry areas, avoiding wetlands and swamps. The area of their distribution includes 2 regions of Africa. They are the eastern part of the continent, reaching certain regions of Malawi and Somalia, and the southern part, including southern Angola. I think he's lying down though. Make sure you start feeding him, do we? Alright. So these guys are basically omnivores. Their diet includes carrion, domestic livestock, rodents, gazelle, hares, young ungulates, lizards, birds, insects, as well as fruit and berries. In addition, ones living in southern parts of Africa can also eat cubs of fur seal. But at the zoo, we feed them fresh meat. Let's see in our animation. And I heard there was a second one as well. Can you guys think we can see the second one? Oh, maybe they're not being involved. But let's see their animation anyways. In order to protect their babies from predators, the female changes locations of the den every 2 weeks. They react only to the calls of their family members, ignoring all other sounds. They like having several exits in their dens, and the pups are born in underground, abandoned burrows. In order to escape the heat, they dwell in vacated dens and crevices of rocks. They have a distinct and well-known haunting call, a typical night sound in the African wilderness. Alright. As we go down here, our next animal here is the Saras Crane. We have one right here. Let's have a second Saras Crane. Alright, so the Saras Crane is the world's tallest flying bird. When they're standing, they're about as tall as a man, and they're predominantly gray with long pale red legs. Their naked head is red, as with their necks. The juvenile has above feathers on their head and slightly darker plumage. And these guys are very, very elegant birds indeed. So you'll find these cranes in Southeast Asia, East Asia, northern India, and northern Australia. 3 populations are currently recognized, each one occupying a distant range. The Indian Saras Crane lives in northern central India, Pakistan, and Nepal. The eastern used to live throughout Southeast Asia, but now is confined to Vietnam and Cambodia, with a small population in Myanmar. The Australian Saras Crane lives in northern Australia. They live mainly in wetlands, like canals, marshes, and ponds. Sometimes they are humans. They have cultivated areas too, and high altitude wetlands. Breeding is further inland, but always in a wet area. During the dry season, they occupy shallow wetlands, wet grasslands, or rice fields. Let's go feed them. So these guys are omnivorous and eat a wide range of food. food, like aquatic plants like sedge, tubers, seeds, rice, and other grains, crustaceans, snails, large insects like grasshoppers, amphibians, reptiles, small vertebrates, and even fish. Let's see their animation. Saras cranes utter loud, high-pitched calls. In courtship displays, the female gives 2 calls, while the male gives only 1. As we see here, we see our 2 Saras cranes courtshipping. And they fly with a straight neck and their long legs trailing behind. They beat powerfully with their wings and are very great flyers, by the way. During the breeding season, the red legs, head, and neck turn brighter. If they lay 2 eggs, there is a 48-hour gap between the first and the second one, and the legs and feet of a crane move in conjunction with their beak. Alright, let's move on to the next animal. Our next animal on the list is the Himalayan Monal. Oh, my bad. Hold on a sec. Alright, let's get to the Himalayan Monal exhibit. Alright. Let's go see where he is right about now. Oh, there he is. He's over here. So these guys are one of the most stunningly beautiful birds in the world. These large-sized pheasants are also known as 9-color birds. They have an iridescent, rainbow-like plumage. However, they're so pleasing to the eyes, but you might get exhausted trying to assess the number of colors they have in their feathers. Despite their large size, they're very gentle birds, and they're the national bird of Nepal as well as state bird of Uttarakhand. There's again. Alright. In the wild, these little beauties are found in the Himalayas from eastern Afghanistan to Bhutan, northeast India, and southern Tibet. They also report in Burma. They're a high-altitude species, being between 1.3 and 2.8 miles above sea level. Let's go feed them. Right. Avid diggers, these guys use their strong beaks and claws to dig for food items like roots, insects, and seeds, making a distinct pattern in the soil where they've been foraging. At the zoo, we feed them insects. Really good. Alright. Let's see an animation. Did you know that these birds are the national birds of Nepal? They're also known as the Dampi, Impian pheasant, Himalayan Monal, Himalayan pheasant. It's got a bit too close there, but let's go see some more animals. And I think we should see one more animal. Our next animal we have here is the Indian peafowl. Alright, let's just see where he is. And he is right over here. Look at those beautiful feathers that this Indian peafowl has, don't you think? Look at them. Well, these guys are very beautiful birds. Birds that inhabit open forests, streamside forests, orchards, and other cultivated areas in eastern Pakistan, from India, southern Himalayas to Sri Lanka. Look at those beautiful feathers. Look at the beautiful feathers on this peacock's tail. Well, and the reason why these guys have these huge feathers on their tails is because it's pretty much because that it's used to attract the females during the mating season. It is an act of vanity, though. They fan out their feathers as part of a courtship ritual to attract a mate, and they boast impressively sized and patterned plumage that they found for display purposes. And they have eye spots on the top of their tails, which may be actually useful for turning off predators. Oh yeah, and the healthier the train, which is the name of the tail by the way, the more females the peacock will have. So let's feed this peacock, shall we? Alright. So peafowl eat food like grain, insects, small reptiles, small mammals, berries, drupes, wild figs, and even some cultivated crops. Let's see their animation. So the males are called peacocks, the females are called peahens, and the young are known as peachicks. And they're one of the most recognizable birds in the world. And the males are polygamous, meaning with many females during the breeding season. The males establish breeding territories known as a lek. When it's time to breed, the female wanders through many males' territories, sometimes making repeated visits before selecting a male. The males don't help raise the young at all. Very useless, by the way. And in 1963, they were declared the national bird of India because of their rich religious and legendary involvement in Indian traditions. Time to go. Alright. And I think that's it for the tour. If you guys like this video, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. And I hope you guys have an animal-tastic day. Bye-bye.